Hello everyone, welcome you all back to the lecture series of Eternal IAS. And now we are going to start with 5 MCQs which are of current importance in today's scenario. And all of these MCQs are only oriented for prelims which is upcoming in the May or June exam. So the 5 articles which we are going to discuss for today, they are olive ridley turtles, some of the countries which is bordering Russia, and the recently released index, that is Asia and Pacific SDG Progress Report, then about the free movement regime, and lastly, the species in news. All of these 5 important points are from the current affairs. So, we are going to understand the concept also and the present context also. So, let us start with the first question. Now, the first question, it is very much important because olive ridley turtles are now or then in news. In any of the way, they are in news. Like the first statement related to them is Aribada is their unique nesting process where thousands of females come together on the same beach and lay eggs. This is totally correct. Aribada is a local term used in the place where they nest together, that is in Odisha. It is a local term. That's why you might not have heard about this term. So this locally term aribada is a unique nesting process where all the female olive ridley turtles, they come together and they start breeding, they start reproducing, right? So the first statement written here is totally correct. Now moving on to the second statement. Second statement is saying that olive ridley turtles are listed as IUCN Red List. IUCN here is International Union of Conservation of Nature. Let me tell you some important facts. See, olive ridley turtles are the smallest and the most abundant of all the sea turtles found in the world. And in most abundance, they are found in Odisha. The place is Gahir Matha. What is the name? Gahir Matha Marine Bird Sanctuary, where you will find the smallest and the most abundant species. And these species are totally carnivorous and they are in olive color. That's why the name is olive ridley turtles. And if I talk about IUCN Red List, they are treated as vulnerable. So, second statement is also correct. But recently, these species are in threat. Why? Because they are poaching for for human consumption, like for the meat shell, making leather, having eggs, right? And also, so many, you will find that so many increase in the debris of plastics, fishing nets, discarded nets, polythene and other garbage dumped by the tourists. And people are also over exploiting the marine resources. That's why these olive ridley turtles are totally exploited. So to conserve them, our Indian Coast Guard, they have started an initiative which is known as Operation Olivia. What is the name of operation? Operation Olivia. They started this in early 1980s so that the olive ridley turtles can be conserved, right? So that all the killings, all the over exploitation can be protected. So that is all about the olive ridley turtles. You can read from the here also. Let me read it for you. Olive ridley turtles are the most smallest and abundant of all the sea turtles. They are best known for their unique nesting thing known as aribada, right? They are carnivorous also, and you will find these in Gahir Matha Bird Sanctuary, Marine Sanctuary, which is located in Odisha. And if I talk about IUCN, they are listed as vulnerable. And if I talk about our Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, they are listed in Schedule 1. And that's how Operation Olivia has started to conserve these olive ridley turtles. So this was all about the olive ridley turtles. You're going to find questions from the olive ridley turtles regarding the facts I told you. Moving on to the second question. Second question is, with how many countries Russia shared the land border? Because Russia, Ukraine, and other European countries, they are in news. So there can be a question from the geographical point of view related to their bounding countries. So what you have to do is you have to memorize the map of Russia and the bordering countries. So let me just make it easy for you. Here is the map. Here is Russia. You will find the largest continent, largest country of the world. And here are the countries which is sharing the border. You will find Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. And all of these three countries, they are collectively known as Baltic countries as they share boundary with the Baltic Sea. That's why this is Baltic countries. Next, you will see here Ukraine, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Mongolia, here China, and here Japan. Japan doesn't share the exact land border. Japan shares the maritime border. Okay, so we cannot consider Japan, but we shall consider Finland here. You can see here Finland, right? Because Russia is the largest country, no? And it shares the maritime border with Japan and Russia. You have to remember this thing. Russia shares the maritime border with Japan and USA. You can see here. Here is the sea. What is the name of the sea? Bering Sea. So Bering Sea lies between Russia and USA. Okay, these are the border details. You can see here Finland, Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia. Write down the name here in your notes. Make a note of those who share the border. So the correct answer for this question, see here, Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia, Belarus, right? So these are the countries with which Poland is not here. See, with Poland, Russia doesn't share an immediate border. Russia shares the extended border. Russia shares the border only with Belarus, not with Poland. So remember this fact also. So the correct answer for this question is only 4. The C is the correct answer here. Okay, getting my point. Moving on to the next question. Next question is the recently released index. That's why I asked this question. The index name is Asia and Pacific SDG Progress. SDG here means, what is the meaning of here SDG? See, SDG here means Sustainable Development Goals. So this event has recently been launched, and this report actually focuses on how SDG has promoted the concept of resource conservation, right? And it is re- recently released by UN Economic and Social Commission for Asia and Pacific, UNESCAP. What this is the full form. Okay, it gives an overview of SDG progress in the region, so that we should know that what are the SDG indicators, what are the vulnerable population group in India, so that we can have the more equitable and inclusive development strategies. Every country can adopt that, right? So that's how this report has been released. You have to remember the name of the organization who has released this report, the name of the report, and the areas which they are focusing and what they said. Like, what are the key highlights of the report? They are saying that if I talk about the overall progress of this thing, overall progress is delayed as per them, overall progress is down. And they are saying that yes, 17 SDG goals are developing, but overall progress, if I count for the Asia and Pacific region, it is being delayed. And at the current pace, they are not going to achieve these targets. They are saying that the target for achieving Asia and Pacific SDG, it is 2062. this target will delay. Okay, they are saying that you have to achieve this by 2030, but you are not going to achieve it until 2062. Okay, so they said these things, that they are saying that all the goals are interconnected, whether it's SDG 2, ending hunger, whether it's SDG 3, enhancing health and well-being. So these goals are closely linked with the climate change, right? And if I talk about the India's progress as per the report, so they are saying that India's SDG has been improved by 6 points. And they are saying that India has achieved notable achievements in the goal number 6 and goal number 7. Goal number 6 is cleaning water, and goal number 7 is affordable and clean energy. So I hope I am very much clear with the points. If I talk about UNESCAP, it has been established in 1947, and the headquarters for the same is Bangkok, Thailand, and it has 53 member countries. So these are all the facts which you have to remember for your exam. Moving on to the fourth question. Fourth question is very much in news regarding the India-Myanmar border, which is about the free movement regime, which means that the local people can freely move from one country to another. Do we have this kind of pact with the Myanmar country? Yes. Because recently the Home Ministry of India is planning to revisit or planning to revise the free movement regime agreement with Myanmar. And they are thinking of fencing the border of India, Myanmar, especially with the northeastern states. So not recently, exactly in the previous era, you know that India and Myanmar were a part of one country. Then Myanmar got separated from India in 1937. And presently, India and Myanmar share 1463-kilometer border with each other across Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh. And out of this 1643-kilometer, only 10 kilometer is fenced. Only 10 kilometer. Rest is not fenced. So regarding this, our Home Ministry has signed free movement regime in 2018 as a part of central government's Act East policy, right? And they said that we can have a cross-border movement, but up to 16 kilometer without a visa. Only 16 kilometer. Like the people of Myanmar can travel to India and they can come over the 16 kilometer only. And same as Indian people can go to Myanmar also. So that local border trade, education, healthcare, diplomatic ties, border residents can be increased. But you all know if it has pros, it has cons also. So the cons are the cross-border terrorism, infiltration, insurgency has been increased recently. So that's how Indian government is deciding to revise this treaty by increasing the fencing and abolishing this free movement regime system. Okay, so if you read, I hope you all got my complete context. Now coming over to the statements. First statement is saying that it is a mutually agreed arrangement between India and Myanmar, which is allowing both the countries to travel within 16 kilometers on either side, which is correct, right? First statement is written correct. And this theory was, or I can say this arrangement was implemented in 2018 because of India's Act East policy. Correct statement. Third statement is saying it allows people to cross the border by producing a required visa. No, visa is not required. Actually, the permission is required. Only the designated authority can give you the permission, and you can stay there on either side of the country up to 2 weeks per visit. Okay, not more than that. Not more than that is allowed. Okay, so this 2 weeks is very, very important. So if I talk about the statements, first two statements are totally correct. The third statement is wrong. Okay. You can read the concept from here also. This comes under India's free movement regime with Myanmar because recently it has been suspended because of the ongoing civil war in Myanmar and the received aggression from Myanmar in India. Okay, so that was all about the free movement regime. Moving over to the last question of the today's series, that is the two species recently discovered in news. You can see the name of the species is Unictus merumus, Unictus merumus, and Unictus acaima. So, what are these exactly? What are these species? These are the recently discovered species, and the name you have to remember. It is basically what? It is a recently discovered species of a snake. Okay, the options are snake, birds, fishes, and butterflies. The correct answer is this is the snake. Unictus murinus is a kind of anaconda, green anaconda. Okay, so like you can say this is the biggest anaconda, largest anaconda, largest snake also you can say, because the female size can grow up to 26 feet, 8 meters long. So you can imagine the male size also. So that's how the correct answer for the question is A. Recently it was in news. That's why the question is there. Green anaconda, Unictus murinus, giant anaconda, emerald anaconda, southern green anaconda, and these is basically found in South America. Largest, heaviest, okay, and it is a non-venomous. It is not venomous. It is non-venomous in nature. So this was all about today's questions. I hope you all have got the series of question and you all be able to learn these questions because these are going to be very important for the upcoming prelims. Revise these concepts. Meet you all in the next lecture of Eternal IAS. Till then, take care. Goodbye. Jai Hind.